These are awesome. Another thing I think is awesome because I'm old. I use, when I'm doing soldering, I always use goggles. I have to. I can't see well enough anymore, glasses or not. I think, personally, I think these make a world of difference. And if you're new to this and you're not sure of your solder and you're not sure why something is either smoking when you plug in or failing while you're flying, a lot of times it has to do with that. I've said it before, that one little tiny, you got your strand of wires that are all bound together like this, and then you solder it, but you miss that one. And that one goes over and it touches that other one, and that's going to arc and it's going to screw everything up. Everybody, in the different drone builder Facebook pages and so forth, they say, I don't understand why my drone sounds like this, or when I plug it in, I'm getting the bede, and there's nothing after that. The second part of the tone isn't there. What that is the battery starts talking to the ESC and it goes did it, and then from the ESC it goes into the FC, or whatever the tone is that the thing makes as you plug it in. When you don't hear that second half of the startup tones, it's probably a solder, or it could be a solder on the pad that you're plugging into, or a solder touching or something like that. That's where you need to start with this stuff, in my dumb uneducated little knowledge of it. So start there. That's why I can actually magnify twice. Where the hell's the other thing? There it is. And get right up in there, and you can see that whole pad. It's not even worth trying to show you like that, but you'll know what I mean if you do this. You can see the separation of each individual solder. You can tell that there's no strand, even though this one I can see strands, but they're soldered together. I just don't like the way that solder looks. I might put a dot on it, but I know by looking at it, I might as well pull this, there's no touching wires. So I'm confident that if I plug this in, unless I'm touching here, which I was, unless I'm touching down here, which that's why we tin, we're going to do that too. But I know that these aren't going to arc and they're not going to make an issue, and I can feel a spark. I can feel one right there. When I was pushing yep, I'm going to put a bead of solder on top of that right now so I don't forget about it. Where's that little piece that I had left? Might as well fix that right now. Heat that up a little. Let's put a little bit of flux on it, just because we're learning, and know that I don't do that often enough and have issues. So let's start trying to learn from our past mistakes. And look at, I had a hair in the flux, and I could see that because I'm wearing my goggles, my magnifying glasses. That's better. There we go. There. It looks like a little blob on top of it, of course. I'm going to fix that even more. I don't want Duzzy to look at me and say, what the fuck is this, Demaric? Cool. Fast forward. Pause. The actress Kelsey has returned. What kind of look is it? Wait.
Huh?
Do I have the eyes? The eyes going?
Oh my god!
Are they going? I can't tell by looking.
I didn't even see that. Hi!
How was school?
Oh, it was great!
Did you get lots of props because of your acting debut last night?
Oh, yes!
Alright, now you're dumb.
You know, just like every other.
So this little tiny bit of solder. I'm going to try and get every little drop out of this thing. It's just trial and error. And realizing that if you have a bad solder, you're bound to fall apart. Crash into something and solder pops off of a pad, and next thing you know, the drone doesn't work, and you find out that you have to take the whole damn thing apart and rebuild it, finding and cleaning and reusing the stuff because I'm not made of money and single dad trying to do this stuff and have fun with my hobby. So I just reuse my shit until it's dead. Might as well. If I didn't see this, I'm going to spin the camera and zoom in. If I didn't notice this through my glasses, I can't see with my regular eyes. I don't know if you can see. So, if that little strand of wire right there came in contact with the pad next to it, buzz buzz, smoke. That's where we have issues. That's where the motor doesn't want to work. That's where when you plug in it goes dee. I can't figure it the fuck out. That and where those moments happen, and we hear about them on the Drone Builders web forums page, Facebook, whatever the fuck it's called. And that's, I've even, like, that post has been made 17 times in the course of a day, and eventually it becomes an eye roll, and it's like, okay, whose turn is it to tell them, because I did last, and I'm bored with it, and I'm just going to end up upsetting somebody and hurting their feelings if I do it wrong. So that's why I'm doing it this way and trying to show you guys. I'm happy with that. Oh, that's one more thing we got to do too. Need to affix a couple of wires for my capacitor. Also, already been using it from this and should still be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it on the bottom, across the bottom, and I'm going to bring it to the front of the quad. Fly or die. You know, it's what we do. Fly or die.